The race boats, the race marshal is instructing the boats to get into line. I can see the starting crews are now aligning in their race order of setting off. So this first boat will be Switzerland to start the inaugural race of the 11th European Nations Dragger Boat Championships. I think we're getting very close to a start. The Swiss team are now coming towards the starting area, and I think it's time that we go over to Murray Jones in the commentary area. Murray, are you there with me?
Here I am. Yes, the boats now are circling, waiting to be started. They're just getting into the right order. And this race, this series of races this afternoon are 2,000 metre races. And the crews set off in succession, and they are about 15 seconds apart, and so they paddle individually. The back ones trying to catch up the front ones, and they go up to the 500 metre point, and there goes the first one. That's the Switzerland Premier Open, and you can hear their supporting cowbells ringing. Yes, they go up round the 500 metre point, down the other side, and round the turn at this point and round again. So it's a total 2,000 metres or so. And they've got some very nice conditions. There's just a gentle breeze, hardly causing any problems on the water. Great Britain, and followed by, is that Hungary? Yeah, that's the Hungarians, all in the white tops. And following on, Poland in number 4 there. In a second number 1, because we've only got 4 sets of numbers. This is the Germany Premier Open. They're really beasting the water there. Fantastic. And this is Poland. This is the Senior A. This is the first lot over 40 years old. Senior A. We'll be hearing more about Senior B and C later. And Great Britain now, number 3 there. Senior A Open. And there's a 4th boat. They look like Hungary, and they're not on my programme, but Hungary are down there for going, and they're paddling off last. So now we've got the lead boat about 50 metres from the turn, and I have to try and catch an idea of who's caught up what. The spaces look fairly even now. We'll see who's gone powering up to catch the opponents. There's a safety boat up at the top there, the rubber boat, because sometimes on the turns problems can occur. I remember in Tampa the drummer fell off on the turn. A Canadian boat. Sorry, no, a German boat. Then a Canadian boat ran into them, which wasn't very amusing. So now we can see there's still a fair gap between the 1 and 2. Bit of a wider gap between 2 and 3. And there's even wider gap between 3 and 4. Who have we got there now? Poland. Poland seem to have been slipping back a little bit. Yes, it's quite an amusing sight when we've got sort of 15 or 20 boats in this race, because you just don't know where to look next. But I think Great Britain are catching Switzerland, coming down the back straight at 250 metres to go to the turn just below us. And Poland's second boat has got a big gap now ahead of them. And finally the Hungary. They also have fallen back a bit. So here they come. You can see the wash on the boats. Now when they get to the 50-meter point before the turn, the overtaking has to be on the inside of the other boats. So if the drummer of the overtaking boat is level with the helm of the boat being overtaken, then the inside boat has the right of way. People keep interpreting that in different ways, but that's what it's got to be. And the helm should always be aware. Now the normal course for a boat is 3 meters from the buoy to allow the overtaking on the inside. But as we'll see when we get to this corner, they seem to cut that to zero as soon as they pass the first marker. Here's Switzerland coming round now. And doing their turn. Great Britain got a higher stroke rate and Germany behind. Here we go. GB now have caught up quite a lot. Right, 1 lap to go now. We've got the cowbells, the fans on the bank, giving them a lot of noise. And the GB team now going up along the buoys because if they do start overtaking, they've got to go on the inside. And that's Hungary. Poland coming in now, coming across the line. And digging with a lot of intent. The Germans have lowered their rate a fair bit, but they have caught up a fair bit on the Poles ahead of them. And then there's another Poland boat coming around, and that's the first of the seniors. Senior A, the over 40s. You'll see that we've got a Senior A, Senior B and Senior C. And some of those people in Senior C were racing against each other in 1995 at the first World Championship. And they found they couldn't give it up, so they created a new class for the people of that age, 40, 50 and 60. And along comes Great Britain's Senior A. Recognise a lot of the faces in that boat. There they go. And they're being chased by Hungary. So now let's see what's happening up the course. Well, nobody's done any overtaking yet. That's unusual. I've been up at the top as an umpire and had about 4 boats abreast going around the top end on the second circuit. So the back few, the seniors, there seems to be a difference between them to from one to the other. Spaces are growing. The seniors enjoy the game, but obviously don't quite have the muscle power of the open teams. And you'll see up there about a length and a half difference between 1 and 2 going round the top. And there's a bit of a gap now to 3, which was Hungary. And there's even a little bit of a gap opened up between Hungary and Germany. Hungary and Poland. Germany haven't caught up with Poland yet. Now in this, the crews can go on the last leg as they're coming down. They can go. They don't have to stick to the lanes for the second circuit. But halfway down, of course, we've got the starting pontoons for the 200-metre races in the middle of the course, so they have to clear those, of course. Just trying to see whether... No, I think Switzerland's still holding off for Great Britain. The idea for these 10-man boat races is that some clubs or some countries can't put together a full-scale team. Others have got sort of a full-scale team plus a few more. So they, there's Great Britain who's got a full-size boat and a small boat in the Premier, and that's what happens. They're not allowed to double up, some in one boat and the other. It's a different set of names that have got to be in for this one. And coming up towards the last 100 metres, GB still haven't quite caught the Swiss, but I think they've just about got an overlap now. And looking back up the course, we haven't got any more overtakers. Yeah, so coming over the line, of course, they're all individually timed, but it is nice to have achieved an overtaking on this event. You feel as if you've done something satisfactorily. And here comes Hungary. They're digging pretty well. A pretty good bow wave along the boat there. Poland coming along. They're looking well together. And we've got Germany coming up with the number one on for the other set of boats. Germany across the line. And so they've opened up at about 75 metres on the Polish chaps behind. That's the first of the senior crews. Here they come. The soul is willing, but the flesh is weak. They haven't quite got the oomph that the Premier Open teams have got. That's Poland across the line. Oh, Great Britain might be overtaken by by Hungary. Oh no, I think they just hold them off, but they have slipped back a bit. Yeah, that number 3 is Great Britain, and number 4 again is Hungary. So these crews will just go back now to the pontoons, the loading pontoons, and then they will get out of the boat. The volunteers from the Czech Dragon Boat Association are on the quays waiting, the people in the yellow shirts. They will empty any water that's been picked up in the boat, because a certain amount of splashing goes on. They dry the boat out and get ready for the incoming crews, who are all been assembled, waiting to go on the next race.
Thank you, Murray. So that was the first race of today of the 11th EDBF European Nations Dragon Boat Championships. I'm Rich Smith. I'm here with Murray Jones. We just finished the first race, which was the small boat open, 2,000 metres pursuit. And we'll give you those results as they come in. As soon as we get confirmation of the results, we will bring them to you. But of course, there is a process that they have to go through to make sure that the umpire and the chief officials are happy, and then we can bring you them. It's all on times, of course, because it doesn't matter who looks like they crossed the line first. It's all depending on when they started and when they finished and what the time was for each individual boat. that was a final, so that decides some medals already, doesn't it, Murray?
The timings will all go in the pot, and out will come the results. The computer downstairs will be giving all the individual timings of the start and finish.
And each of these races is a final in itself. There are no heats, are there?
We don't have that many entries in some of the events. That's why we've got the seniors going out as well as the Premier Open. But each class, so the seniors will have a 1, 2, 3, and the Premier Open will have the Senior Open will have a 1, 2, 3. And coming up a bit later on, there are 1 or 2 places where they've got some juniors paddling, and one of the classes of the juniors is only about 5 entries. So rather than have just a race with just 5 people in it, we put them in with other people to make a bigger event.
Yeah. Who's that getting out the boat there? Is that GB from distance? Yeah. Team GB just getting out of the boat there. They'll be happy to have started their European experience. It's in the corner. There's a few young guys having a swim, actually. I think the boat marshals are keeping them in order. So we're bringing those results when we have them. Our next race will be 2:30, which will be, again, small boat, and it's a women's open, junior 2,000 metres. And it will have Slovakia, Great Britain, Poland, Switzerland, Premier Women, and Germany, Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, Junior Open. So, beautiful day here in Racice in the Czech Republic. If you're just tuning in, this is the European Nations Dragger Boat Championships. I'm Rich Smith, here with Murray Jones and the full studio team, and we're off.
Hello.
We're finally off.
Yeah, we are in an event. All the setting up, all the plugs and wires and things that we've got around us to bring you this. And there's a lot of entertainment going on along the course at this time. Several brewery companies have got their specialities on there. I think we're going to have to try a few of those later on.
Of course, the athletes wouldn't dream of drinking beer while they were competing. That is not part of international dragon boat racing. But it's there in the evenings for friends and family and locals to enjoy. But I'm sure the team captains, team coaches and team managers will be keeping a very close eye on their teams and what they take in from a dietary point of view and a liquid point of view, because that could be the difference between winning or losing in this European Nations Dragon Boat Championships. Live in Racice. Lovely venue. We've got a fantastic position up here in the studio. And with the next race will be at 2:30. So don't go away. 15 minutes and counting to the next race. Other teams are starting to load for the next race. We should see them going up to the start line. Fairly relaxed racing schedule today on the first day. Sometimes it's fast and furious and frenetic with a lot of activities going on, but today fairly relaxed timetable, but that's good to induct us into it.
Well, we do have to account for the changing over and using the same boats between one race and the next. And again, when we get onto the big boats races, which are tomorrow, there are 2 sets of boats. So one will just come back from racing, and the other will be ready to go racing. As it is, we've just got this one set of boats for the 2,000 meters. And I think we're going to see some of those later, aren't we?
Still not got any official results from that first race, but we'll bring them to you as soon as we can.
Yeah, all the races after this coming one are going to be standard boats, so it'll be a little bit more crowded on the water.
Apart from the last one, Murray, which I think is a small boat, our 6 o'clock race is a small boat Premier Mixed.
For the first 2 races.
But standard for the next 8 or so races after this one.
The small boats are a development of the from the big ones. All they've really done is taken a bit out of the middle, so that they make it with seats for 10 paddlers as opposed to 20. And of course they're that much cheaper, and emerging dragon boat clubs and countries can get the idea of dragon boat racing in these ones before they go for the blue ribbon events in the 20-man boats. We had in China last month, or in May, we had some local boats, 36 paddlers in, beautiful wooden made boats. But all around China, there's many different styles of dragon boat. But these ones are the standard for international competition. In the early 80s, when I was going off dragon boating with clubs, when we got to a new place, we had to spend some time just getting used to being in that particular kind of boat, whether we felt safe or not, and in order to make it go. And so we don't have that problem now. If there's an international event, these are the boats. But when we go to places where it's not an international event, the boats will be something different. For instance, it's very attractive in Thailand. They have the swan boats, and in Borneo they've got the peacock boats. In South India, they've got the snake boats. They're all different. I mean, the snake boats go up to 120 paddlers. So there's many different, but if they're laying on an international event, then these are the boats they use. And the original mould for this design, the original prototype, they were the wooden boats based in the ones that we used to race in Hong Kong, and they were wooden. But then somebody made moulds out of the wooden ones, but that's not perfect until a firm in North Germany and BUK put everything into a computer, and so you've got sort of perfect lines along the boat, so that they now are standard. And there are manufacturers all over the world now making these boats.
So if you're just tuning in now, it's waiting for the next race to start. This is the 11th EDBF European Nations Dragon Boat Championships live in Racice in the Czech Republic. I'm Rich Smith. We're waiting for the next race to start, which is going to be a small boat women's open junior race featuring Slovakia going off first, second Great Britain Premier Women, third Poland Premier Women, and fourth Switzerland Premier Women. And then we've got the other race going on in this, in another half of this race, if you like, Germany Junior Open, Poland Junior Open, Ukraine Junior Open, and Hungary Junior Open. So 2 races in one, both racing in their own categories, but to have a full race schedule, they're combined, basically. Look.
But amongst the juniors, the first, second, and third in that class will get their medals. We have, and it hasn't really got properly going yet, but there is now a new class for the under 24s. That's to give some of these juniors that are racing, a chance of continuing their paddling until they can ease themselves into a senior boat or an open boat. because there are plenty of distractions these days for people to go off at the age of 18 to other sports and things to do. We would like to keep them and see them over the years joining up with paddling in the big events. As you can see now, the boats are milling around. In the middle of them is an umpire boat, and he'll be sort of calling them in. They're all on the water now. We haven't seen a result posted yet, so
they're coming, Murray. They're coming, but they need cross-checking before they release them. So
takes a bit of time.
Like the straight races, it's all timings. So.
Yeah.
But we're about to start this second race. Small boat women, Open Junior. I wish I was out there with them. I really do.
Well, I prefer to being on the water to anywhere else, especially when there's lots of other people enjoying themselves on the water.
Yep. Nice shots. Lovely dragon boats. Perfect weather. I think the weather forecast hopefully will stay good for the whole weekend. We'll give you some updates on tomorrow, but today is beautiful. Slightly overcast now compared with earlier, but that's fine. The sun is still there behind the clouds and it's a lovely temperature. And we have a fantastic vantage point up here in the studio, and I hope you're enjoying the shots too around the world as you tune in to some great dragon boat racing. You saw earlier in June the first World Cup in Fuzhou. We showed you some clips earlier in our preview program, and it's great to be back in a studio at a live championships and international racing in Europe. And then of course we'll be back in Europe in September, from the 5th of September, to bring you the World Club Crew Championships, which is going to be a huge event in Ravenna in Italy. And we're looking forward to that, and we will bring you the coverage again here on idbfdragonboat.tv. And of course, if you're tuning in on the Belief Sport channel, then beliefsport.tv. But this is the EDBF 11th European Nations Dragon Boat Championships in Racice, Czech Republic. We're all being looked after very well. The paddlers are revving up, going through their last motions, their last paces, before the starter pulls them to the line, which should be any moment now. And it will be Slovakia who will be coming up to the start in a moment to start this next race off.
So it's the Czech Dragon Boat Association which are hosting us on behalf of the European Dragon Boat Federation. And of course, for the last couple of years there's been an awful number of emails backwards and forwards on all aspects of the arrangements. I haven't spotted any gaps in those yet, but they seem to have covered all bases this time.
Anyway, Maury, I think we're about to start this race now because the Slovakian team are heading towards the start, and we do have the results from that previous race. Germany took it in a time of 9:53.6, Poland second, 9:57.33, Hungary fourth, 10 minutes dead, Poland 10:10, Switzerland 10:11, Hungary 10:15, and Great Britain 10:25. So well done to Germany. Continuing on from where the football achieved their fantastic win in the World Cup. But here we go for the small boat women Open Junior 2,000 metres. Slovakia will be heading it off, followed by Great Britain, followed by Poland, then Switzerland, then Germany, then Poland, then Ukraine, and finally Hungary. And they're off, Murray.
So Slovakia, their open team has a lot of tricks to play. They managed to accelerate towards the end of a race, which catches everybody by surprise. And Great Britain, Premier Women, they've had a lot of success over the years, but of course from one year to the next you don't know who is actually in the boat and are going to be in the boat. And Poland coming up to the line. I don't think we've got... I don't know what's happened to the Swiss boat. That's Germany. Oh yes, there's Switzerland. They below my line of sight. There they go. And I heard the cowbells ringing. I thought they had to be somewhere. And Germany going off. Germany juniors, a very high rate of paddling. And here are Poland. Ukraine, that lovely royal blue sort of colouring. Lucky to be able to get away for a while from the problems that they have in Ukraine. And Hungary again. I think they made a little bit of a fluff of that start, but they're now going. Right, so now at the time there they all go all the way up the course. Fourth boat is being caught by the fifth boat going out. In fact, the safety boat, the rubber boat up in the top of near the 500 metres, has actually got an umpire on it. It is tricky up there. You've got to make sure they obey the rules about overtaking and when they can and when they can't. Here they go, all the different drums going off at different times. Junior Open have Germany Junior Open have nearly caught the team in front of them, the Swiss Premier Women. Very close now, going around the top bend. There's a bit of an overlap there, so the boat on the being overtaken has to give way to the to let the other one through on the inside. And of course the distance around the circumference of the circle that they use is a bit more, so easier to overtake when you're on the inside. So just the one overtaking stint that's happened now. It's a shame there wasn't a GB Juniors, or maybe they're in the standard boat. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking to see. I didn't see them on my list. I'll take a look between races. Now the Slovakian ladies are slowly and steadily, and they're being chased down by a Great Britain boat. And Great Britain have moved away a bit from Poland.
There's official beer, so that's all right.
I should think. Of course, we've got that one of the junior teams that's overtaken the back end of the ladies' cruise. Now we're looking at the bend just down below us and see how things go. Nice tidy paddling. they really should be attacking the beginning of that stroke, really thumping that first part of the water. So Slovakia now about 10 seconds or less ahead now. That's one lap completed by the Slovakian, and here comes Great Britain. That's it, using the water well, the paddles deep in the water. No point in having a big paddle if you don't use it. And all the Swiss ladies are being overtaken by the second of the junior boats. And coming below us now is Germany juniors. They're really going well. And they're being chased by the Polish juniors. Here they come. The Swiss ladies are a bit handicapped because there's only 8 of them in a 10-person boat. But it's good to see them coming, getting involved in these events. And we've got the Hungarian juniors are about to catch the Ukrainians. They've got a good style there. They've got the digging that paddle in, really hitting the beginning of the stroke, which when they fall in time like that, it really does well. Entering a bit of rough water from the boats coming down the other way. So there you see overtaking on the inside, the outside leaving space. How are we doing up at the top there? They're in sort of packets, aren't they now? There'll be some overtaking going up at the front. You're hearing all the drummers yelling at their crews, give them encouragement in the boat as well as the beating the drum. Yeah, so Hungary have gone past Ukraine now. And there we are at the top bend. Still pretty close together, those two, Great Britain and Switzerland. Oh, sorry, Great Britain and Slovakia, I should say. I keep glancing down and miss it. Right, and then it's a final sprint for home. They've just got to go around that one more marker buoy up at the top. That's it. Then they're on the home run. About 25 metres before or 50 metres before the turn, there is another buoy that they go past. And if the drummer of the overtaking boat is level with the steerer of the boat being overtaken, then the boat being overtaken has to give way. That's an established overlap. We've had in the past sometimes when the boat hasn't quite got that way, they move out from the standard course and then carve in right inside where the boat they want to overtake is, but that's not allowed these days. Now we've got sort of 3 boats overlapping. It looks like one great big longboat up at the top end there now. That's when, as an umpire, you get quite excited to see if anybody's causing problems for another boat. The helms have to be experienced in this sort of thing and use the right amount of pressure on the blades to get the boat round. Not always easy, but if they're starting out on it, then they have to really be careful. So GB ladies still just progressing. What's that about? A dragon's head ahead. Probably a quarter of a length. Here they come, last 50 metres. Good timing by the Great Britain ladies. Yeah. There they go. So they've taking their starting time clear. That's them over the line, and Slovakian ladies. And there's a big race coming on here. That's the German juniors got themselves right up into that position. Have just overtaken the ladies from Poland. The boat swaying around there. One thing you have to watch when after a finish, when everybody relaxes, they have to remember that they've got to keep the boat balanced. That's Poland juniors. Hungary coming in next, and Ukraine hanging on. In fact, they've been overtaken by Hungary, haven't they? Yes, that's right. And last but not least are the Swiss ladies. Yeah, encouraged all the way to the line by their bell-ringing people. These bells are nearly knee-high. Massive great things. The poor cow has to go around wearing one of those. That's it. The last one go over the line, and then they go to the boarding pontoons and hop out of the boat, and then we start seeing the bigger boats doing their bit.
Fabulous stuff, Murray. If you're just tuning in, you've just seen the second race of this afternoon's 11th EDBF European Nations Dragon Boat Championships live in Racice. Fantastic sight, seeing all these boats close together now as they've just finished the second race of the day. We're slightly ahead of schedule, and our next race will be coming up at 3 o'clock or before, because we are running a little bit ahead of schedule, probably about 5-7 minutes ahead of schedule. And that was, if you've just tuned in, the small boat Women's Open Junior 2,000 metres. So we had Slovakia, Great Britain, Poland and Switzerland Premier Women's race going on in there, together with a combined Germany, Poland, Ukraine and Hungary Junior Open competition going on. Hopefully if you were a friend or a family member or even a colleague, you saw one of your nearest or dearest or loved ones or workmates compete in that last race, and you should be very proud to see them representing their country. So we will be going to standard boat racing now, which is the full 22-person boat, including the helm and the drummer, and that will be scheduled for about 3 o'clock this afternoon or thereabouts. But I would suggest you don't go away for too long, because I think we're running about 5 to 7 minutes ahead of schedule. This is the European competition. We've done the World Cup. We've got the World Club Crew Championships to come in September. And Claudio, the Italian president, is the organizer, or the leader of the organising committee for the World Club Crew Championships, where, of course, clubs from all over the world will be coming to as a step up in their competition classes. Rather than just competing nationally or in a festival or something, they're going to step up and compete against other clubs from all over the world. And the Club Crew, of course, is different to the World Championships, where it's country against country. But that's coming up on September the 5th, 2014, and we will be there to bring you that 6 days of exciting racing. However, let's get past this one first. Maury.
Yes, the pattern of events, if you're new to watching these, is that in a single year there will be an international nations championship, and then all of the areas, the Asian, American, European and Australian and so forth, have their club crew championships. And then the second year it'll be the World Club Crew Championships with the area national championships. So that's where we are at the moment. The nations crews now are racing now, and maybe we'll be seeing a fair number of these racing for their clubs in Italy in September.
Thank you, Murray. Right, I think we're going to take you to a clip now, because we've over the different championships, we've certainly talked to a lot of paddlers about the love of the sport, and everybody talks about what a fantastic sport this is. Team inclusive, full of passion, full of energy, chance to meet people from all over the world and unite global communities. So why don't we hear firsthand? You don't want to hear me talking all afternoon. Let's go and see what our paddlers internationally are saying about that beautiful sport of dragon boating. Well, I hope you love dragon boating. We all do. Hungary won that last race, 10:17. Poland second, 10:26. Germany third, 10:29. That was the Junior Open. And Ukraine 10:40 in fourth position. First for Poland in the Premier win was 10:56.23. Then Great Britain 10:56.7. Slovakia 11:14, and Switzerland 11:42. Now we're into standard boats for the next couple of hours. These traditional dragon boats ready to compete. The first standard boat race of this European Championships. GB's in there again, Murray. I said Great Britain. I can see them again from where we are.
Yeah. All the crews now just warming up gently. No real time to go and have a lengthy warm-up period, but they will have been doing on the land. We've seen in different places. I can see some on the opposite side of the course to us. Somebody warming up.
So they're almost having a mini 50-metre elliptical sprint at the moment, elliptical warm-up, all of them. Going round, a whole load of dragons, round and round they go. When they stop, nobody knows. But we do know, really, because in a few minutes they will be called by the starter to the start line. And this will be the first standard boat race of the day, Open, Senior B and C. And we will have Germany going off, taking the race first. Germany Senior B Open will lead the race off. Then Czech Senior B Open, followed by Russia Senior B Open. Poland going off fourth for their Senior B Open. And Great Britain taking it away in fifth, Senior B Open. Sixth, Ukraine, Senior B Open. And then we have Senior C Czech Republic and Senior C Germany in this race. Do you want to explain the difference between Senior B Open and Senior C Open, Murray?
Yes, these are the guys who don't know when they've had enough and want to keep paddling, and so the senior starts at 40, and senior A, senior B at 50, and senior C at 60. And who knows, before long we'll find a senior D going along, because some of these guys just don't know when to put their paddles down, and help some of us officials in order to make sure that the youngsters have a well-organised event.
Have we got senior A, B and C officials, Murray?
That's a good point. The average age of the officials goes up by a year every year. We are getting
quite a few age groups, though, isn't there? There's quite a nice mix of officials, I think.
Quite a widespread of people. Some of the older ones now are just quietly backing out. Others just don't know when to stop. So let's just see what the starter is up to. The starter hasn't even gone down onto the pontoon yet, so presumably, well, it's scheduled for 5 minutes' time. Now, the dragon boat is a traditional boat. I'll talk about the tradition at a later stage. But when they're racing, the drummer has to be drumming. That's part of being a dragon boat. Some people try all sorts of things to make us think they're drumming, but they're not. other people decide that the drummer is wind resistant, so down inside the boat with a whistle. And it's not a dragon boat. Nice view of this Czech Republic going past. They've obviously done some training. More training they do, the better the coordination between paddlers. The knuckles on the top of the paddle, all at the same time, and the recovery at the same angle. There they go. Looks like it's Ukraine there. Let's spare a moment to sadness to remember what happened in Ukraine just recently. And then we also think of the Dutch and Malaysians who had an awful lot of people lost in that plane. And quite a lot of dragon boating countries have got people in that accident, and we must think about those as well.
Absolutely. So you're watching the 11th European Nations Dragon Boat Championships live in Racice in the Czech Republic. We're just on the warm-up for the first standard boat competition of the afternoon, and it is the Open Senior B and C 2,000 meters pursuit. Germany leading off, Czech Republic second, then Russia, then Poland, then Great Britain, then Ukraine, Czech Republic again, Senior C, and Germany Senior C. So we can't wait. First standard boat competition of the afternoon. There's Great Britain going past the it must be so nice just to be having a amble round here, Marina, without any pressure at the moment, just loosening those muscles and getting the technique together, and you know, it's a good way of just getting rid of the nerves, isn't it? Just
Yep.
you know, paddling it out. No.
Still no sign of the starter down below us. I'm just having a look over as far as I go. No, nobody there yet. So they've published results of the previous race. There should be no impediment to going, but
so there's confirmation here for the start lineup. Germany Senior B Open, Czech Republic, Russia, Poland, Great Britain Senior B Open, and Ukraine Senior B Open, Czech Republic Senior C Open, and Germany Senior C Open. So you've got all the riders, or the paddlers, shall we say. We're about to start. Yep, Germany is being brought to the line now.
Probably a couple of minutes, again, got no sign of the starter.
Well, as predicted, we are running about 5 to 7 minutes ahead of schedule. This was scheduled for 3 o'clock. I think it's going to go off 5 minutes early, which is good. And as we said earlier, all the races will be every half an hour, scheduled every half an hour, so don't go away. Choose the times to take your tea and coffee breaks and get that kettle on, or just enjoy some water, or maybe even a beer. Why not? What's for sure is these paddlers won't be drinking beer right now.
No, I've just seen Chief Starter going down to the pontoon.
That's Wendy Hermelink. We can't see her, but she's down there.
Yeah.
And she's got her minder with her as well. What's his name? Syed, is it? Syed. Can't remember his second name. Offhand. Syed Abdallah, actually, is Wendy's assistant, and you definitely would not mess with him.
he's up on the top at the moment, on the top of the bank. Right, so this is very close to now the start, when they get their orders from the starter. I can't hear what they're saying, but we'll soon see when they get their paddles into the ready position. Somebody's... Oops. The boats are being told to go back a bit. Just... I see Saeed has actually got a microphone and speaker in front of him, so he's doing the talking from there. We don't have the radio to listen into what they are talking about, so we just at their mercy, waiting for them to get themselves organised. They want to have things all in line.
Any minute now, guys, we will be taking you to this next race. Race 3 is the first standard boat race of the day. Senior B and C Open categories. Lovely sight. There's the runners and riders again. Germany leading off, Czech Republic, Russia, Poland, Great Britain, Senior B, all Senior B Open, and then it's Czech Republic Senior C and Germany Senior C Open at the rear.
It's an interesting sport, this. You think that each boat has the equivalent of 2 football teams in there. It takes a lot of coordinating, lots of training to get it right. And the success of the coaches when they get results from what they've been teaching. And it's all rather fun, right? Now they should be going now. Oh, I think there's something happening. Yes, people are beginning to.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is the first medal trophy winning ceremony.
So we have a medal ceremony taking
All right, there we just heard from around the corner. We have got there's the start.
We have a
They're
medal ceremony,
underway.
but we are going to continue with Murray on the commentary.
There's a medal ceremony going around on my right shoulder, and boats going off in front. Those Germans have got a high rate of paddling. They've launched out into the cruise mode. You see how they gradually accelerate until they've got the boat up and running, and then they now switch to a cruising mode, or I call it cruising mode. There's 2 people short in that boat. Doesn't look too happy. And the 4th one, Poland Senior B Open. Good even stroke going on there. Now Great Britain coming up. Here they are. That's Nigel on the back end of that boat, talking in his squawk box, giving the crew encouragement. And all in yellow come the Ukrainian team. Senior B Open again. And the last 2 are both Senior C, so these are older by 10 years on the other chaps, so can't expect them to go overtaking too many people. But you can see they've all done it before and are going off in good form. The Czech Republic Senior C Open. And the Senior C German team. There's not that much difference in styles of the boats going off, and also, of course, there's not too much that you can notice about overtaking until they've done at least the first 500 meters, and then you can see that some gaps are created and some are closed. Around the top go the first two. Czech Republic had some jolly good results in the past, as have Slovakia. And we had European Championships up in the centre of Prague. The Russians won the Victor Ludorum. It was a great celebration. So medals now, Germany. We can't do everything at once, can we? Czech Republic have caught up their gap on Germany coming down, and they've sailed away from the Russians. And the two senior C open boats at the back there have dropped back considerably on the rest of the fleet. Yeah, see the bow waves there on the boat.
Germany, European champion.
And a gold medal for Germany. You can hear their national anthem. Right, so the first boat, number one there, Germany coming round. They're being chased by Czech Republic, and they're paddling well. And number three is Russia. Gosh, got some big speakers down below us. Number 4 in the black will be Poland seniors. And number 5, Great Britain. And they're catching the Poles. And Ukraine are chasing down. There's an art to getting around those corners without wasting too much energy. You don't want to paddle too many meters beyond the shortest route. And here are the two senior C people, Czech Republic in number 1 and Germany in number 2. These are senior Cs. There's the old men of the sea. And they will find fun and satisfaction out of getting out in the dragon boat and training and racing. It's good to see. And no doubt they've all got plenty of tales to tell of years gone by. Oh, that's going to be a close shave, that one. Close shave. Oh, almost touching the boat. No, they just missed touching the boat. Germany just caught up with the Czech Republic. Oh, I turn my attention to the top end of the course and see what's happening. No more overtaking going on, so as far as I can see. Alright, so that's the first around the top, and there's a big long gap between them and the next people. That's the Russians, of course, who 2 paddlers short of the full crew, only 18 in that boat. Poland, Great Britain, just rounding the top now. So within the when they get to the 50-meter marker there's a yellow buoy with a red flag on the top. It's the drummer of the German boat is level with the steerer of the Czech boat. Then the Czech boat has to give them space to get round the buoy, around the top end, the bend. It looks to me like 2 boats are pretty close together there. Numbers 3, 4, 4th, 5th and 6th. It's good to see that they're holding their form here. The German Senior B coming down, 100 meters to go. You can see the tops of those paddles coming off exactly the same time and hitting the water on that first part of the stroke. Really attack the water. No point in just putting the paddles in the water. You attack that, as are the Chinese, thumping that water. Here we go. Over the line goes Germany. And hotly chased by Czech Republic. I see Ukraine seem to have overtaken Great Britain. They're really steaming down the outside. Yeah, the Russians coming home. That's Poland, but they've been overtaken by the Ukrainians. And Great Britain coming in. Great Britain number 5 there, coming in, just crossing the line now. And 300 meters to go for the last 2, the senior Cs. They'll all be gasping for breath now. Can't see it. It's against the sunlight, so it's difficult to see who's in front at the moment. As soon as I can see the number, I can talk about it. I assume that the Germans overtook the Czech. They were pretty close. Yes, looks like Czech Republic have been overtaken. A length and a half clear water between them and the Germans in front. And the Germans now taking what I assume would be a slightly easier stroke. Yes, it's just a little bit more frantic for the Czech people, but they won't be able to change the result from this point. Germans are taking it nice and easily, good style, good stroke. They've probably been doing it for an awful lot of years. There they go, 1 in, coming in now, Czech Republic, senior Cs. There we go. Now they all go down for a good warm down and get themselves ready for the activities for tomorrow, which are going to be all 200 meters, so it's slightly different to what they were just doing. Now then the next thing we'll be doing is the same sort of thing with the women, with Premier Open and Senior A, Premier and Senior A, and 1 team of Senior B women. So let's go across to see how Rich is doing.
Thanks, Murray. Well, as that race finished, I can hear that the medal ceremony is taking place for the second final of the day, which was that small boat race with the Women Open and Juniors. And I can see a GB flag on the pole out there, so that's a good thing for Great Britain. But there's also Hungary. So this is a medal presentation we can hear for the small boat Women's Open and Junior 2,000 meters final, in which Hungary was first, Poland second, and Germany third in the Junior Open, and then Poland first, Great Britain second, and Slovakia third in the Premier Women. You're just seeing the end of that last race, which was the standard boat race of the Open Senior B and C crews. We'll give you the results when they come in. But I can see down at the medal area the proud Great Britain team with their bronze medals waiting to be presented to them. Hungary's coming into position. And then we see Poland appearing. Peter Klima down there organising all the paddlers to receive their medals. If you're just tuning in, this is the 11th EDBF European Nations Dragon Boat Championships in Racice. So the results from that last race you saw were Ukraine 8:29.15 Senior B Open, Czech Republic Senior B Open 8:52.5, Great Britain Senior B Open 8:53.6, Germany Senior B Open 8:57.5, Russia Senior B Open 9:02.9, Poland Senior B Open 9:03.9, and then Germany Senior C 9:32.3, and Czech Republic Senior C 9:55.0. That was race 3, the first standard boat competition of the afternoon.